Vocal technique is simpler than you think. Today, I want to share with you why, if you can find a clean, easy speaking voice, you can actually use that as a great starting place to get into some of your upper range. And I'll also share with you a series of exercises and how we can use this to develop your voice. Now, real quick, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Ivan. I'm a voice teacher who works with students from all around the world over Zoom. And really on this channel, my goal is to make learning how to sing as simple and as easy as possible. So if that is up your lane, consider subscribing wherever you're joining me from. If you want to improve your voice with less of the headaches, I also offer one-on-one lessons over Zoom, and I also offer some self-study programs that you can work through at your own pace. Links are down in the description. Now, if you want to inspire our next episode, or if you have a question, drop it down into the comments below, and I'd love to tackle that in our next episode. Anyway, let's dive in. So let's start here. Vocal technique is simple. I know that there are a lot of great videos out there that talk about a vocal technique in depth, and they also share, all these different techniques and ideas in order to build your range. Now, what I found personally to be really helpful, and this has helped a lot of my students, is chipping away at this very simple question. Can you change pitch without changing anything else? So no changes in the vowel, no changes in the volume, and no changes even to your posture, just kind of keeping things pretty chill. Because if you can do this, just change pitch, this tells me that you can engage a lot of the correct musculature. Now, whilst I said this is simple, this doesn't necessarily mean that it's easy, because a lot of these muscles that we're trying to control, they're quite small, they're quite fine, and there's also often a lot of, muscular habits that we need to unlearn in order to be able to do this. If you're anything like me, you'll notice on these simple scales, we start to add tension, we start to push, we start to strain, or sometimes we go the complete opposite way. We lose coordination and we flip, when all we need to do was stretch those vocal folds. So if you're in this boat, I want you to try this idea. One thing that's been really helping me is starting from the place of easy yet confident speech. Now, for example, let's just say, hey, hey, hey. Now, why do we start here? What I love about speech is two things. The first thing is it encourages the chords to come together and make a clear sound. Hey, notice how it's not too weak. But at the same time, I also don't feel like it takes a lot of effort. I don't feel like I have to really put a lot of pressure or squeeze on that sound. Hey, I don't really have to do anything like that. So it really shouldn't feel hard to do, and it should be nice and clear. So if you can't do this at the moment, I would definitely explore, see if you can find a clear, confident, yet easy feeling speech quality. Now, the way we can use this is basically as we change pitch, this feeling of, easy, yet clear kind of speech, this kind of quality, it doesn't have to change too much. So I don't really have to feel this build up of pressure, nor do I have to feel like I'm losing any of that kind of strength that I find naturally in speech. So let's try this exercise. We're going to start off on this bottom note, and we're going to just say the word no, and we're going to hit it a few times like this. No, 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 no. I'm just trying to speak through it. I'm not too crazy fussed about being perfectly on pitch. I'm just trying to get there and just make it feel nice and easy. No, 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 no. And I want you to notice how you're hitting the ends, the consonants. Just notice how it's quite spoken. Now, once you have found this spoken quality, what we're going to do here now is we're going to add an octave jump, and it's going to sound a bit like this. No, 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 no. So try this exercise a few times. Now, what we're looking for as we're doing this exercise is two things. The first one is I'm trying to maintain that ease yet clarity that I get from speech the entire time. A way you can think about it is, if I can hit that consonant N exactly the same, I don't feel like I have to add more or less, that would be a really good spot. What you don't want is no, 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 no. But I feel like I have to grip onto that N a bit more, or the other way. No, 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 no. Where I suddenly feel like I lose a bit of pressure from the N as well. And as you can hear with the sound, one gets a bit tighter and one gets a bit breathier. I'm really trying to keep it in that kind of middle kind of speech quality. Now, the second thing that you might hear here is that there's a bit of a scooping like quality. No, 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 no. I'm doing this little kind of scooping thing because that basically is going to encourage me to change pitch a bit easier, because that is pitch change. I'm basically doing this kind of smooth slide or this scoop up into the high notes. So try it a few times and see if you can get both of these two things to happen. You keep the general kind of pressure level or that general kind of volume at a speech-like quality, and you try to just scoop up into the top note. Because once you have it, you can just go a bit higher. No, 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 no. I'm really trying to resist that temptation to push through more air and push through more volume and just rely on that scoop to get me through. No, 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 no. So as you can see there, not all of the reps are going to be perfect for myself, but generally I'm trying to achieve two things. I'm trying to keep that kind of spoken-like quality. I'm trying not to add too much pressure or like kind of get any louder or get any softer. And really, I'm just trying to get that scoop, that kind of feeling to kind of kick in, because that's going to allow me to go through my range a bit easier. Now, for some of you, you're going to try this and it's going to be a bit of a train wreck. You might flip or you might lose coordination or you might just really, really grip. That's okay. Keep chipping away at this. The more you can really resist that temptation to change the volume and you just allow for pitch change, that means you're starting to learn to engage the right musculature. You basically keep those chords together in a nice, easy way, and you just stretch them through the range. Now, for those of you who can get this, congratulations. This is a great sign that you've got some decent technique. Now, you might also be wondering, because you might be able to do this, but all of a sudden when you go to a song, you can't seem to apply it. Now, don't fret. This doesn't mean that your technique is wrong. It doesn't mean you're doing something completely incorrect. What that means is that there is a general process to expand what you can do here into a song. Now, if that is something that you're interested in, I would highly recommend checking out episode 222, and that's going to show you how do you go from a place where you can find correct technique in an exercise to being able to generally apply that to a song. Anyway, I hope that answers your questions. This is just one of the ideas that can help you start to explore and find correct technique, which is going to allow you to sing higher. If you found this episode useful, just leave a 5-star on this podcast. It really means the world to me and it helps this channel grow even faster. Now, if you're on YouTube or any other social media, a like, comment, subscribe, or even just sharing this with a friend or family, that really, really means the world to me. Apart from that, my name is Ivan. If you're interested in working with me, I've got some links down in the description. Apart from that, I'll see you next week. Take care.